Good evening and thank you for joining us. Well, a lot of anticipation, Carly, especially for those chuck wagons. I know you've got your boots on under the desk here.
I do. I wish I could, lift my leg up and show everybody. I'm so excited. But yeah, you know what? It's going to be a great night of racing, and I had the chance to see Logan Gorse today before he even got all geared up and ready to go. And you can just tell, you can see it in their eyes, they are ready to race.
Fantastic. And Shauna, are we going to have good weather for those races? How's it looking?
I'm hoping that it's going to hold out until after the races, but as we take a look now, currently across the region, we're sitting at 21 degrees with lots of sunshine, and the clouds are starting to build up into the Lakeland region, and in the Battlefords, lots of sun and 24 degrees. So, you know what? We're halfway through the week, and we're getting ready to look forward at the chuck wagon races and the weekend. What's that going to look like? I'll have your full weather forecast coming up a little later on.
Well, the countdown is done. The CPCA Chuck Wagon Finals have kicked off at the Lloyd X Grounds. Families and friends gathered to help celebrate the event with Premier Brad Wall and other dignitaries.
We're going to start with our official program around 5 o'clock.
Having missed an opportunity to speak to us in the winter, the Premier made sure he made it out to this event today.
We played it safe. We drove from Swift Current today to make sure we were here, and this is kind of a way to say sorry we missed that event, and happy to be back and looking forward to both the barbecue and the chucks.
When it comes to horses and chuck wagon racing, Premier Wall says he's all for the excitement.
Yes, I am a fan. It's hard not to be. Here's the only thing. There's a lot of left turns, and so for me politically that's interesting, but I note that after all those left turns they kind of end up where they started.
Along with Lloydminster MLA Tim McMillan, both dignitaries mingled with locals to kick off the event.
I've never done this before, but I hear we're really on track level, so I'm not sure how many points politicians are worth in terms of rundowns. But I'm sure it'll be great tonight. We're looking forward to starting it off.
It's great. Today this year they went to the extra day, and having the Premier here to kick off the first time that we're having the Wednesday races is fantastic. And yeah, we're having the barbecue beforehand, bring a lot of people out, I hope, and have a lot of fun.
McMillan and Premier Wall will be at the grandstands at 6 and the races commence at 6:30. For a detailed list of events and tickets, go to lloydchuckwagons.com. Well, it's been a topic of controversy for several years in St. Paul. The psychiatric ward at the hospital was closed after a renovation, which upset a lot of people. However, as Clayton Brown explains, an important announcement today will once again bring those services back to the community.
For nearly 20 years, the psychiatric ward at the St. Paul Hospital was operational. But 3 years ago, shortly after moving into a new expansion, it closed, much to the dismay of many Lakeland residents. Finally, it was announced the ward will once again open its doors.
We are now targeting to reopen the unit by September 30th. My hope is that we'll actually be admitting patients by the 28th, 29th.
We're delighted with the announcement because this has been an ongoing issue ever since the facility was closed, and we've been waiting for over 2 years for this.
Although the psych ward will begin taking patients again, it won't be operating at its full capacity.
We will be opening with 5 beds. It is a 10-bed unit, but we're going to start with 5, and then we'll increase, based on, again, our staffing levels.
We would, of course, like to see the whole facility open because at one time it was filled to capacity, and so we really feel the need is still there, but 5 beds is a good start.
The ward will be an inpatient service, something that is not offered anywhere else in the Lakeland region.
When we're up to 10-bed capacity, that we will be serving this whole area, the area around St. Paul, the Lakeland area. So the unit is to serve the area, not just St. Paul.
In St. Paul, Clayton Brown, Newcap News.
And Premier Brad Wall actually did have a busy day. He kicked off his visit to Lloydminster with a stop at the new site for the city's only French immersion school. Robert Buffum was there and files this report.
Anticipation was high before the groundbreaking ceremony for Ecole St.Thomas's new building.
We are extremely excited about the new facility. It was something else to see the dirt start moving and the pilings coming in here. It's a dream come true.
The event attracted reps from both municipal and provincial governments, including the Premier, who says the school is a worthwhile investment.
It's around $21 million, and we're looking, I think, at $213 for it to open. Lloydminster's growing, and enrollments here have been picking up speed for some time now.
The new facility is supposed to be finished in 2 years' time and is needed to meet growing demand in Lloyd for French as a second language.
I think that it speaks to Lloydminster that we have a somewhat diverse population, that we value the French language, and that we can offer it here in Lloydminster is very positive.
Meanwhile, plans for the current school remain up in the air.
I haven't talked to the public schools. I think they wouldn't mind something like an Avery in there, but we have some other plans we've talked about, everything from library, youth centers, archives. There's probably more uses for it and then there is space.
But with its student body swelling and already having doubled to 360 in 10 years, what's certain is the new building will provide much needed space for students like these. Robert Buffum, Newcap News.
Just a quick note, if you're traveling in the RM of Wilton over the next 2 days, Township Road 480 from Highway 17 to Range Road 3280 will be closed today and tomorrow. CP Rail is working on a crossing in that area. It will hopefully reopen tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, Air Cadets across the country look forward to their summer camps, and after the break, we'll hear how they're enjoying their time in Cold Lake.